Okay, I'm recording. Okay. Hello, everybody. Okay, so we're going to chat about parties a little bit. So I think you're right, Angie, that parties are always hit and miss. And for me, they're always hit and miss too. And so honestly, I think the key with parties is just not giving up and being willing to always try something different. Because I feel like there's no wrong template or there's no right template. And every party is just going to be a little bit different. But I think that sometimes people will have a party and then it bombs. You know, it's like no sales or anything. And then they automatically go to parties just don't work, you know, versus let's try again, you know, because I have done the same template for many different parties, and I had one that was like 600, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like my best party ever, versus like 39, you know, versus 0, you know, the amount always changes. And so, and it's never, I really think the key is getting people to try on their sample, and once they try it on, usually they want to purchase because they're like, this is amazing. So what do you guys feel like with your parties that are the big struggle? Like interaction or?
For me, it's about the hostesses.
Yeah. See, and you know what? I think that is the case. We always say the hostess makes or breaks it. I wonder if there's a way, you know, to actually get the hostess more excited or on board.
Yeah.
Or, you know, from the beginning, doing that, you know, with our hostess coaching, because I know not everybody has like an outgoing, excited personality, but if they acted really enthusiastic and excited about it from the beginning, that might change things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if there were a way to convey to them that the party really is made or broken with their enthusiasm and their participation, without making them feel like it's more work, but help them understand how important their role is.
So maybe just being upfront, just like that, and saying that, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna make notes about this, but you know, because really, as long as they do the messaging, I also think the way they invite, there's got to be something to that, because I need a pen. There's got to be something to that, because I mean, I'll get party invites to whatever party, and I mean, I'm busy and generally uninterested in a lot of other MLM products, truthfully, but so a lot of times I'll get those invites and kind of just ignore them, and so it's really easy for, I think, someone to just ignore. But if they worded it in a different way, hey Kayla, if they worded it in like a different way, so that way, you know what, maybe we could come up with some good wording. Also, I know I had that verbiage document that was like a good idea to help people, like hostesses, come up with ways to invite. I kind of started doing something different, rather than being like, here's a verbiage document on what you can say, you know, and I always say, tweak it to make it sound like you, but people rarely do that. They just, because it's there and it's done for them. So instead, like this last girl, I said, let me just pull up what I said to her, because she got 17 people in. And again, it could be the hostess or it could just be, but she said, she asked me, do you have something for me to say to them? And I said, so I said, you'll first want to make a list of people and then message the friends you think would like the product. And I usually just say something about how I found this awesome product and I really loved it and wanted to share it with others. And I thought of them because they're so trendy, fashionable, always have their nails done, whatever, you fill in the blank. Then let them know they can try a sample for free, and then ask if they'd like to join the party. And then I say, you can say, give me the thumbs up, or I'll send you the link to join. And only after they say yes or give you the thumbs up, then give them the link to join. But when I kind of said, I usually say something like this, but I didn't like write it sentence for sentence. So it was kind of like, this is what to include, but like you make it up kind of
So
thing.
they couldn't just copy paste. They had to at least piece things together and put it into their own words.
But what we could even do is you can have that response. I usually say something like, have that response typed up. So that way, when you're doing your hostess coaching, you can copy paste that response. So you're not having to type it out so much, or make a little video like, here's what I usually say. It might be easier in message so they can like see it and then go copy it again. But that might be something, I think that's a big deal. The messaging and then hyping up the hostess. So Kayla, we're talking about parties, your favorite. So we were just talking about the messaging beforehand, how to, coach the hostess and like without doing the verbiage document and kind of just saying something like, here's something I usually say something like this, and then giving them an example of what to include versus just giving them word for word what to say. That way it really is more personal, because I feel like what happens is they just copy paste what they've been told from the script, and then it's easier to just ignore. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So at least that's kind of how that's how I am. Like, even people I'm like really good friends with, they'll send me like a scripted thing, and I'm like, I totally know that's a script. And then it's kind of a turnoff, honestly. What's up, girl? So, but then we were also thinking, we all know that it's the hostess who kind of makes or breaks the party. So,
Mom.
What?
Mom.
Yes.
May I please blow this up and then you tie it?
Totally. So do you have any ideas or thoughts on how to get the host, like explaining to the hostess up front, like, this party is gonna die if you're not enthusiastic? Oh my word.
She's got some lungs.
Like Griffin.
Like, what for can blow up a balloon, first of all? Is that good, or?
I want that balloon. We can blow it.
Slobber.
What?
All right, girlfriend.
Hi. What's up?
Okay. Oh gosh, I just like swung it right into my eye. Get out of here. Ugh, that was nasty. Okay, so we need to come up with some ideas about like what to say to the hostess when we're doing hostess coaching. Like, you can totally get a lot of rewards, but your enthusiasm is what's going to get you.
Balloon, Mom.
Hey, Polly, it's Charisse.
Hey.
Can I throw an idea out?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm West Coast, and so I know my kids are going to go to school in September. I can't really start this in August because kids are going to school in September. Yeah. But you guys go to school earlier. So this is just for this month, though. This in September, maybe you could use a kind of play to the emotions of the mom, in the fact that you could say, oh my gosh, we've got so much more time on our hands now that kids are back in school. If you could just spend an extra 5 minutes on this every day, your party's going to be awesome. And without those 5 minutes, you may not get as much rewards as you normally would. So can you make sure to spend the 5 minutes every day coming in the party and commenting on every post and tagging one of your friends and asking a question, so that we keep this party rocking, just kind of playing to that. You've got an extra 5 minutes. You've got an extra 10 minutes. Kids are back in school. Except for you, Missy, your kids are always there and you're homeschooling. But for the most part, if your hostess is one of those moms with kids, let's play on that for the next 4 to 6 weeks and just incentivize them to just spend a little more time than they thought they would, and their rewards will get higher.
Yes, or something like when you're hiding in the bathroom from your children. Go on Facebook, comment.
Nobody does that.
And when you say something like, it's only going to take 5 minutes, because really, that is all that it's going to take. Okay, that's good. Missy, were you going to say something?
No. She
Okay.
said, who does that? And I said, I do.
Oh, hides in the, yeah. Oh my gosh. So,
I'm
sorry.
not gonna lie.
I'm okay.
Hiding from my kids now. So.
Yeah.
What?
Audrey, girl, I need you to get off, okay?
And mine and Polly's are in our video.
They found you.
Yeah, they find you. Whenever this is happening, I mean, summer's hard, which is why I haven't done the videos because like this. But okay, so I think that's a good idea. You know, just I know like it is hard. It's just parties are just hard. They really are. And sometimes I have just like a really great party, and sometimes I don't. And it honestly, I think everybody agrees it all goes back to the hostess. If the hostess is really great. The other thing though is when I'm having parties, I really try. Audrey, stop, honey. Okay, I need you to go upstairs. Can you do that for me? Okay, thanks. The other thing is
Baby.
I always am trying to follow up with the guests. So if they request a sample, I reach out to them too, and I'm always like trying to build a relationship because a lot of people I've noticed in some other trainings, they say, it's actually my turn to talk right now. You may talk at the very end if you're quiet, okay? Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Okay. You have two choices. You can go upstairs in your room or you can go upstairs in the guest room. Which would you like to do? No, this isn't an option. Pick one. Guest room or your room. Okay. No, guest room or your room, not the floor. Okay? Anyway, I feel like in those trainings, people say they like put the follow-up on the hostess to do it, which is a great idea. But then I'm always thinking, well, I want to develop a relationship with them too. So if I am if I'm relying on the hostess to do it and then not keeping track, then how am I keeping them my customer in the future? You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I've always kind of just taken the follow-up on myself. So, yeah, so I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts about that? What do you guys normally do for like follow-up within your parties?
Well, this is Sharice again. So, you know, I've done parties and events and been in groups. I'm doing email parties now. And I do find that the follow-up in events is easier and more effective than follow-up in groups, because when you do the follow-up in event, you can literally just message all the guests that are there. And when they get the PM from you, it has a direct link to the event already attached to that message. And so I'm saying this because I had the opportunity to kind of do an event one recently. And when I messaged the guests about trying on their samples and going in and selecting their numbers for the giveaway, I got 5 responses back within an hour because they're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. But when you go and do the messages through the event, it's really easy for them to just click on the event link and not have to go back into Facebook, find the group that they're in, find the post that you're talking about. They just immediately are like, oh, it's right here in the message, and they click on it, they go in. So no matter what, if you're doing a follow-up, I guess this is my takeaway. If you're doing any sort of follow-up via PM, make sure that you're putting the link to the group or the event in that message, so it makes it even easier for that person to go back in and give the information back to you that you want.
Yes, I love that. That's amazing. And I've been doing that too. And it is awesome because when you message from the event, it links the event right at the bottom. So they can just click it and go to it. So, and another thing I've done too is I'll take, what's really nice, say I have 10 people in the event and 5 people requested samples and 5 people didn't. I can click on those 5 people's name who requested samples and send one message to all of them.
Yes, girl, it's so much faster.
Instead of like having to, so it's the same, and I don't say, hey, Missy, hey, Angie, I just say, hey, lady or girl or whatever, and then say, I wanted to check in about the sample. And that can be, and then it sends it to all 5 at once. So then I don't have to spend time doing all 5. And then if the other 5, like maybe 2 of them ordered and 3 of them haven't yet, but they've already tried it, you can send those specific messages to people and you just click their name. I think you can only do it from a computer though, I'm pretty sure.
So they all get the same message, but it's not like a group chat type message.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
So like,
And you're right, Polly, you can only do it from a computer. You can't message guests from an event on your phone.
yeah, but so they all get it. So there is an option where at the bottom you can click send as a group message. So make sure that is not clicked because that would be so annoying, like everybody. But
Can you
Yeah.
message people who were invited to the event but never RSVP'd either
Yeah.
way?
mhm.
Yes, you can. And then you
Message
can say,
people.
hey, we're halfway through this party. It's not too late to jump in. Do you want to
Like
jump
if they
in?
don't RSVP. But when I'm doing the method where they go through my group and then they
That's what I did this last one. So my friend added some people to the group, to my VIP group, and then we invited them to the event, but they haven't responded to the event.
so this is what I do. So I have the hostess give the link to my group so they click the link to join. Is that what you did?
I don't know what she
Okay,
did.
because if you have her just add people to the group, then they're going to go in an invited folder and then they don't see it. They have to
Right.
click join. So as long as they click join in your group, then what I do is I just invite everybody who's in that party to the event and I mark them as going. You can physically, you as the hostess can change their RSVP yourself.
Really?
Yeah. And so that I don't want it to be, that's like, if I'm like, okay, join this group, then RSVP going, and then change
Right.
your notification. It's just like,
Okay,
too
I'll
much
have to check
in.
that out because I didn't see that as an option. So they were invited to the group and then they joined the group,
Yeah.
but then when we invited them to the event, they're still under invited.
Right. So you can go next to their name and just change it to going. Because in my opinion, they joined the group for the party they're going, right?
Which
So
makes it weird because they're not RSVPing, which that's the whole reason you joined the group. So
right. And it's because it's just an extra step, I feel, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, well, I already joined. Why do I
I
start? Well, they might not even get it.
Yeah, I assume that's something you can only do on a computer, maybe. Maybe that's why
You
I'm
can
not
do that
seeing
part
it.
on your phone. You can do that part on your phone.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, I mean, it's August 1st. It's a new month.
My birthday month.
Yay! Yeah.
Yay.
Yesterday was my 2-year anniversary with Color Street. So today I'm going to do something in my group to like celebrate. But yeah, another thing I did to try and find party hostesses was I went in my back office and just pulled a report of all hostesses and just looked to see like who would be ready to do another one. You know, as long as they've done it at least probably 6 months, they could be a repeat. So you can do that to go see if you can have more hostesses from the beginning or whatever. She's doing a headstand. Doesn't stop moving. Okay. Anything else you guys can think of ideas wise for, I mean, I know there's been so many trainings on parties and everything, but truly I feel like it's don't give up and be willing to try new stuff as you do parties, you know. And I think just helping the hostess be excited. I think that would be a good idea to just be upfront in the beginning and be like, you know, parties can really be amazing. It's all up to the hostess. You know, the times when I've had really good parties, the hostess is, you know, really excited about the product, gets her friends to try it, you know. That might be something, asking the hostess to encourage their friends to try it on, not just by doing a post, but like when they're inviting, say you totally have to try this stuff out. Like don't wait, you know. And I love your idea, Angie, of the they're entered in the drawing if they post a picture of their sample. That is smart.
Yeah, I actually, I don't enter them in the drawing for that. I actually offer free shipping on their party order now if they'll post a picture of their sample.
That's a good idea.
It's a little more incentive, and I've had more people actually do it during the party time and get their pictures posted. So
I wonder if people would go for that even more. Do you do an early bird special too?
Sometimes.
I feel like the free shipping, if you post your note, request a sample and then post a picture of it, and then you get free shipping on your first order. That's genius. That's genius. That is genius. I'm gonna try that out next time. Free shipping if they post a nail fee. So does that go, do you just offer that if people have already tried it? Do you say it like if you request a sample and, so say it's like a return customer?
I haven't actually thought about that. I would be happy in a party to do free shipping for somebody if they would share a nail fee
Yeah.
of Pillar Street that they, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because if other people already had full sets and they're sharing it, that's like getting other people to be into it too.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Well, I should probably get going because I think someone needs some attention. But I think these were good ideas. And next month, we are going to have Charisse and Annette and myself and Angie going over our notes from conference, all the conference trainings. So we all decided, there's a bunch of workshops. We all decided to split up the times, and we're all going to the different ones so we can cover like all our bases and get like all the notes on all the training. So, which is exciting. So next month, it's just the first Thursday. So, all right.
Okay.
Signing off, y'all.
Thanks, Polly.
Bye.
Thanks for hopping on, you guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.